I'm Hans Lysglimt. You're watching the Freedom Academy. Now, I want you to think about 2008 as a very special year in history. And 2008 is the year of the Ron Paul campaign. Ron Paul is going to be a very important force in the years to come regardless. But 2008 will be very special in the sense that the Ron Paul campaign is going to bring up Ron Paul in all kinds of occasions towards the September meeting and the November elections. There's going to be mentions of Ron Paul in the news, in magazines, on TV, all kinds of places. So 2008 really is special. The other day I went through what I'm going to do in 2008. I made a list of things I'm going to do and the priorities and how I'm going to prioritize my efforts. And what really struck me is how special 2008 is and how important it is that I do everything I can and you do everything you can now in 2008 for the Ron Paul campaign. I saw on my list of things that I wanted to do that there were certain things that really didn't matter if I did them in 2008 or 2009 or 2010. Like making this video right now for you. And the Freedom Academy. I mean, I make this Freedom Academy now, early in 2008, and it will have an impact in the Ron Paul campaign, small or large, but it will have an impact. It will be part of pulling, in the right direction for everyone. And it's really important that I do this now in March 2008 instead of doing it in January 2009 or January 2010. The effort is the same, but the impact it can have is so much larger. And whatever you can do for liberty, whatever you can do for freedom, I really want you to do now, sooner than later, and tie it up to the Ron Paul campaign. As Ron Paul has said himself, this campaign is not about Ron Paul, and he will be the first to say that. It's really about the ideas and the message. What we do and what I do is that I tie up the message to Ron Paul in 2008 because there's such momentum to that and people are interested in the issues in a whole different way than if I just said that this is a liberty movement or if I just did a Freedom Academy without tying it up to Ron Paul. But I could have done it without tying it up to Ron Paul because the message is the same and the message is what's really important. And for everyone who's concerned about liberty and freedom, I've been in this movement for 15, 20 years. But for anyone who's in that movement, 2008 is really special. And whatever you do now in 2008 and tie up to the Ron Paul campaign will give you such tremendous leverage. And I'm afraid a lot of that leverage might be gone in 2009, 2010, if Ron Paul is not elected the president. I mean, if he is, then that changes everything. That will be a full-blown out revolution, and that will change everything. And I can promise you, I'll make a lot of videos about that if that will really happen. But if not, then 2009 will be different than 2008 because you won't have the ability to use the leverage of the Ron Paul campaign in the same way. So every effort that you can do for liberty is better off being done in 2008 as early as possible than 2009. And I know that there are a lot of people out there that have ideas for what they can do, and they want to do stuff. They want to make films. They want to rent blimps, they want to do all kinds of stuff for liberty. And you have a life plan or something that you really want to do in your life that's tied up to these ideas of personal liberty and freedom. And I really want you to consider doing it now. It's always difficult to do things now. It's always easier to say, well, maybe later or maybe next time, or maybe someone you want to hit the road with your book or your project or whatever and go from Toastmaster Club to give speeches or whatever you want to do. Tie it up to the Ron Paul campaign and do it now. Create your life now Have now be the best time of your life. Carpe diem. Carpe diem is more true now than ever. I make these videos and you do what you need to do. Push what you need to push to get the message out there and tie it up to Ron Paul. 2008 is really special. It is the spark of something really big. And you can be part of that. You are part of that. You can contribute now. And I really, really want you to consider moving up in time, whatever efforts that you want to do, whatever ideas that you want to have. Do it now. Carpe diem. Ron Paul, 2008. You're watching Freedom Academy. I'm Hans Lysglimt.